Hello, hello, and welcome to Front Row Vendors Podcast. I am your host, Autumn, and today we are actually out of Raleigh. We're over in Asheville in the cold mountains with the Ridge Asheville, and I've got Seth. And one more time, what was your name with a cute dog shirt?
Darien. You got
Darien.
it.
So, how are you guys doing? You guys doing good today?
We are doing wonderful. It is the holidays, our favorite time of the year, one of our favorite times of the year. So we're doing just fine. How about
Absolutely.
yourself?
Not too bad. It's getting cold here. It's only 40 something, so I can't even imagine what it is there.
Oh my God.
It's in the 30s today for sure.
Yeah.
It snowed last night. It's icy, but I don't know. Blue skies today, so we're making it.
Oh, good. Awesome. Well, good. Well, if you guys can tell me or tell everybody about you guys, how the Ridge came about and everything, because I know you guys have three locations, right? That comprises into one.
So
Correct.
yeah, we do. Well, we're a larger company. We have actually two wedding venues, one in downtown Asheville, one here in Marshall, and then we own a wedding planning business as well. So,
Wow.
so we're comprised of three different companies. But talking about the Ridge itself, we have the Residence, which is the bridal party staging area,
Which is where we are now.
which is where we are now.
It's beautiful.
And then we have the Knoll, which is the ceremony site.
And that overlooks the Blue Ridge Mountains. It's the best view in the house. It's
Wow.
absolutely incredible up there. On our website, you'll see pictures. I mean, pretty much anywhere, any of our handles, you'll see pictures from the ceremony site.
And then we have the Chateau, which is a French and Spanish inspired wedding venue. And
Wow.
that's where the reception takes place. That's where all the celebration, the party, that's where everything goes down.
And that got finished this February, right? Was it February?
Yeah,
January, February?
late February, March. That was when it first got completed. And our first wedding was actually March 17th. So it was back to back.
Oh,
So it was
wow.
really close, but yeah, we made it happen. We made it work, and we had an amazing year. But we started about 3 years ago, actually. So we opened up the Ridge in 2017, and we did it to complement our downtown venue,
Right.
just so we could have an outdoor ceremony location, which would just complement, being downtown. So we'd have our ceremonies here, and then they would just transport over to the venue to have their downtown reception. Which was really nice. So we did 2 years of ceremonies only. And, we're taking baby steps. We knew eventually we wanted to have ceremonies and receptions here. And then we planned for building the Chateau. And now we're here.
Kind of happened quicker than expected, I guess. Everybody would come out here and be like, we traveled all the way to North Carolina, and we're driving up into the mountains, and they got the great ceremony. We did a cocktail hour around the porch of the residence, and then they left, and it's kind of like, man, I would love a couple more hours up in the mountains with this view. So it worked out well.
Yeah, we would actually have people, when we were cleaning up, that would stay here like an hour after everyone had left just to hang out. We were like, you should probably go enjoy the reception, but you're more than welcome to hang out with us.
Oh, I love that. And you guys do elopements too, right?
We do, actually.
Absolutely.
We just started doing elopements.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that we've researched, and we've talked to people that just specialize in elopements, and we found out how much of a need there is for it. A lot of these elopement planners that are only doing elopements, they're doing about 300 a year, and that's per business that we talk to, really. So when we heard that number, that kind of blew our minds a little bit. So we're like, why haven't we, offered this?
Yeah, because we have the space to do it, and it's kind of like once you get the correct guidelines down, it's almost a no-brainer.
Right.
You have the view, you have the location to do it, and they're great. I love them. It's definitely a good switch up from your 150, 175 person ceremony reception, full blown out of it's nice. So we
Oh,
enjoy
I
doing it.
bet. Are those usually done during the week, or are they done during the weekends as well?
Right, you got it. So Monday through Thursdays, that's basically when we offer those.
Oh, perfect.
With some exceptions, maybe on off season,
Yeah.
December through mid March or whatnot. But yeah, Monday through Thursdays are when we offer that package. We offer just 2 people, 2+, and then up to 30 for these micro weddings, ceremony, and dinners, intimate dinners. And so we kind of offer a broad spectrum of everything, because we found that people want to have an intimate dinner along with, getting married.
Wow.
And we've also found that, especially being here in the mountains in the Asheville area, people don't want to hike 3 miles, to get a beautiful view and then get eloped up there. Here you can literally just walk 10 feet and have an amazing view, and you don't have to worry about grandma or grandpa, making it up the hill. So, so it's very convenient. You still get the same view and an even better experience, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's Black Balsam, there's Max Patch, and there's the Craggy Gardens, and I've been to all 3, and that hike is insane no matter who you are.
Yeah, exactly.
God.
Exactly. And there's some people will get, eloped on a random mountain. There's so many areas here, but most of them do require a hike.
And then not only that,
Right.
but you also have to account for the weather. You always have to have a backup plan. If you're doing that, going to Craggy or Max Patch or anywhere, your backup plan there's not really a backup plan.
No.
You might have to just switch it to another date. But here, you could, have your elopement or your ceremony at the knoll, and then your backup plan could just be the chateau, because we have these nice 12-foot beautiful doors that, can become your arbor, so to speak.
And they open up to the mountains, so it's an easy switch. It's like snap of a finger, make the call, and we make it happen.
And is the chateau the rendering that's on your guys', or was the picture rendering that's on your website, like when you first go there, or?
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
And thank you. Yeah, actually, a crazy story about that. So we had originally had a couple architects from around the Asheville area make the renderings for what we wanted the chateau to be. We started with one person, and it came back to have that barn feeling, and so we just switched it up. We're like, okay, let's just find someone else without even getting a second draft or a third draft.
We wanted to get away from that.
Yeah, because
that's your typical North Carolina. What we see a lot. We see a lot of the barn wedding in North Carolina, and being French and Spanish inspired, we definitely wanted to get away with that or get away from that.
So we went to someone else. We gave them our vision, and the same thing happened. Came back to look and have that barn feeling, and so we were like, you know what? We're gonna have to do something completely different. We're gonna have to. Marta, she's from Colombia, South America. That's where she's originally from. She has a lot of connections there, so she flew out there, talked to some of her friends, made some connections to meet with someone that could, really encapsulate her vision. And so she had one meeting with them, and the first rendering they came back with was that one that's on our website. And
Dang.
we didn't have to have a second draft or anything. Immediately nailed it. And
pretty incredible.
Yeah, and then we took those concepts, and we actually didn't even have renderings of the inside of the building from them. It was only the outside, which is pretty awesome. So Marta basically took that concept of the outside rendering and then just took that vision and then spread it to the inside, to the bathrooms, to the bar, to the storage room, to the catering service room. All was basically her just brain coming out.
Man,
Pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible.
That's beautiful. It's stunning. Well, what do you guys, for your guys' packages, what do you guys offer? I mean, is there something that comes with every package that's like I guess like you guys get in certain hours or rentals? Does everything come with that, or?
Now, are we just talking about, are we still on elopements here, or are we on
Let's do ceremonies, because that might be more of a common one versus elopements.
Yeah, ceremony and reception. So, if somebody gives us an inquiry, we, automatically are going to send them a lead with, our pricing, and, our base package is a 5-hour package. That's, that's what you get from ceremony start time to the end of our reception. We have a hard cutoff at 10 p.m. It's due to, before we were here, it was a little more residential than what it is now. We kind of made it commercial, so it's a mutual agreement to, get out of here at a reasonable time.
Okay.
But you get the 5-hour package. The bride and groom and bridal party get an hour allotted before that 5 hours to show up to their residence to do final touches that they would like. Or just get ready, get their stuff here. They have that hour given to them. If they wanted to add extra hours, you can add extra hours to that 5-hour package, but you have to do it on the front end because obviously we still have that hard cutoff at 10. Now, there is one other option. You can actually rent the residence for the full day. If you didn't want to just do an hour before your ceremony time, you can rent the residence starting at 9 a.m. And you can come in here at 9 a.m. with your bridal party. We'll have a maitre d' here that will take care of them all day long, pour them drinks, do their trash, steam their clothing, whatever they need to be done. It's a very hands-off experience. So that's another option. And we see, I bet you 95% the people that do that just say it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you don't have to, if you're coming from out of town, you don't have to feel like you're getting married or you're getting ready at a hotel or at a foreign place. This feels very homey, as you can see. That's kind of what the message we want to portray is just hands off, feel like you're at home kind of day.
And then on top of that, just kind of adding to that, so included in that's our staff. So all of our staff we have a large property here, so the points of interest that we kind of went over before, the residence, the knoll, the chateau, we have staff to help navigate everything that's happening throughout that entire experience. So starting at the residence, that's where the entrance of our property is. So the residence is going to be the first place that you pass by, getting to the knoll and then going to the chateau. So, any shuttles that are arriving, we're going to have golf carts and staff members stationed up top, directing them where to go. And then when they get to where they need to go, we're going to have management staff on duty there to greet all of the guests that are arriving on the shuttle, just explain to them, where to go from here. Basically stay on the shuttle if you want to use the restroom, follow me if you want to go up to the ceremony site. And if you don't need to use the restroom, so we'll invite them up to the ceremony site. We'll have staff members up at the grand entrance gates, greeting those guests. We may have passed champagne. We may have, a water station, anything, signature cocktails immediately before the ceremony, which we actually see a lot. Anything of that nature, we'll have staff there for that. And then we'll have staff at the chateau, taking care of the bar, setting that up.
Final touches.
Yeah,
Getting
polishing glassware, polishing silverware, making sure the tables are set. So staff's included into that cost, of course.
And there is a good bit of staff. I mean, that's
like
the main point. There's a good bit of stuff.
Yeah.
Keep going. More stuff that comes along with
Yeah,
that.
so equipment rental. So equipment, ceremony chairs, your reception chairs, your tables, your linen napkins, your china, your glassware, your flatware. So everything that you're going to need from ceremony to reception for, dinner service as well. That's all included.
You can take that package, come here, get married, and have a full dinner. With the bar package, actually, we put a bar package in our pricing that we send to everybody. We don't have to do that, but we like to go ahead and do that and show them what it would be like a more realistic cost for them, rather than not putting it on there, than being like, you're gonna have to add this onto your mindset of this price because you're gonna need some drinks. So,
right.
But you can literally have a full event with what we send you, and that's what we like to do. That's what we want to do.
Yeah, so on top of that, the bar package, he was saying, we like to provide those realistic numbers up front to couples. That way they see an overall picture of what we're providing and what the cost is going to be, and then what they need to provide as far as vendors. So strictly vendors is the only thing they're going to need to provide. But at least they have the overall cost of what we provide, and the bar is included into that. So that's one of the things that we include into our pricing, so they can see, like he was saying, so they don't get surprised like, oh, we can afford you, but wait, we forgot the bar. There's another $8,000. Now we can't.
Right.
So I think that's very important to be clear.
One thing we left out that we didn't mention, transportation is also included in that pricing. So being up here in the mountains, being a 30, 35-minute drive from downtown Asheville, if you serve alcohol here at your wedding, then we require you to provide some form of transportation for your guests. It doesn't have to be to the exact guest count, because some people would like to drive, but we require that there be some form of transportation here. So what we do in that pricing is we go ahead and throw in motor coaches with AC and bathroom units in that pricing. And, if it looks good to you, we book it for you, and we have it pick your guests up wherever they like and drop them off wherever they like afterwards. So.
Yep. And there could be early shuttles too. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to just be one pickup location. It can be multiple pickup locations. They'll come drop off at the Ridge. There could be an early shuttle to take guests back early before the departure time. They'll come back, and then take all of your guests back to the same locations they picked them up, or to separate locations if you wanted like an after party bar, and then maybe one going to the hotel. So we include those transportation.
I don't think we forgot anything else. So I think that's
well. The last thing that we also include is the tent, which is your backup rain plan. So included in that price is the reservation for your backup rain plan, essentially. That way you don't have to think about it. You're going to have a backup rain plan regardless. You're getting married outdoors. So we go ahead and take care of the cost of that into what's included, and reflect the deposit for what the tent's going to cost to reserve it, and then the overall total of what it'll cost if you actually end up using it. And just
the bride and groom have until 10 a.m. the day before their wedding to decide if they want the tent or not. We're not asking anybody to be weather people and watch it all month or anything, or call it a month early. You have until 10 a.m. the day before. It looks like 80% rain tomorrow. We're going to do the tent. All right, we contact them. They'll have it up ready to go. Or it looks good. We're going to go away from it. So. But yeah, the deposit that's in that in the pricing is because when someone books with us, we immediately contact the tent company. We have tents. We have probably 10 tents reserved for 2021. That no matter what, on that day in 2021, there will be a tent for you if you need it. And that's why the deposit's in there. So.
Right. But I think the overall importance of all this is just to be very upfront to couples and to anyone inquiring, and as well as for anyone that's watching that is a wedding venue, to be very upfront to the couples that you're talking to. And if you're not, you're just gonna, there's gonna be a lot of back and forth communication that's unnecessary if you're upfront with everything. So the less questions they ask it means the better you're doing providing the information to them. But of course, there's always gonna be questions, so it's great.
Yeah, you guys literally have everything in the kitchen sink on that. Holy crap! Wow. Well, how far?
I covered a good little piece of it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. How far do the couples usually have the book out?
Well, so the first year, because we were brand new, which was last year, this year, 2019.
Well, with the receptions at least.
Right. So 2018, we probably started, at the end of 2018, we probably had about 40 in the books, and we ended up with around 60. Now, this year, as of right now, we probably have around,
I think it's
52 in the books for 2020. And that'll probably end up reaching, with elopements now that we implemented that, maybe into the 80s. So there's no deadline. We don't have a deadline like you have to book this certain amount of months out of your wedding day. But from experience now, and from the traction that our venue is gaining, I would say a year and a half is very safe to especially in the fall. I mean, the fall here in Asheville area, any venue you go to, if you're going to try and book 6 to 8 months out, your dates in the fall is probably going to be gone.
Our September and October Saturdays were gone in August of this year. This year for 2020. For 2020.
Wow.
So a year and 3 months. I mean, that's fall though. That's going to go quick.
Right.
Our May Saturdays were gone even quicker than that, I think.
Yeah, we actually have more weddings in May 2020 as of right now than we do in October. I think we have about 11 in May as of right now. And so in comparison to 2019, our end of September to mid-November, we had a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday wedding
every weekend. For like a month and a half to 2 months.
Until mid-November.
Jeez.
And that's not counting the elopements we did during the week.
Right.
Oh my God.
So earlier the better, obviously.
Yeah.
We survived.
No, crap. Oh my God. Do you guys offer any discount to the hotels maybe around you for guests to stay at?
Yeah, so we can if you have room blocks at certain hotels, they'll give you a certain percentage discount. So yes, absolutely. There are certain hotels in downtown. So for instance, the Foundry Hotel will offer you a discount. The Windsor Hotel, which is a boutique hotel that offers 16 rooms. That's great for if you just want to book the entire place out and have all your your bridal party and close family. They'll offer a sweet discount. And there's a couple different hotels in downtown that will offer it. Not all hotels in downtown offer room blocks. So you kind of have to find that out. And price increases drastically in the busy season, like in fall. I mean, you'll you'll go from like a $300 hotel, you know, during the rest of the season to a $500 hotel. So hotels are expensive here in Asheville. They really are.
Oh yeah.
They're no joke.
When you guys are talking about vendors as well, they can do off-site vendors. So you don't have anybody that you have to hire when going with you guys?
Correct.
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh,
so one thing that we don't like doing is restricting people to our vision, because it's not about our vision. It's about their vision. So
Exactly.
we'll give them a route and a direction of vendors that we love, that we work with, that have high quality service, great communication.
That have been here before.
And so we'll offer a list, and it's actually on our website as of right now. And they can go and check all that out, and it'll give them a good direction to what vision they're looking for. But of course, you know, we don't want to restrict them to that list. You know,
there's no fee for them to go to someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, we do ask, and this is kind of just like a gentleman's agreement, that it is a reputable business that they use. It is a professional that they use, and someone, you know, maybe we can look at reviews and things like that, you know, because we don't want to run into someone bringing their best friend to do something professional, because that comes back on us. So, you know, we do keep that as, like, you know, like I said, a gentleman's agreement, but yeah, no restriction.
Right.
Wow. Well, do you guys feel like there's a certain couple that comes and books with you guys? I mean, is there a certain kind that you guys like to book?
Well, I wouldn't say a certain. I mean, you know, we accept everyone, you know, and however their personalities are and whatever it is, we just learn to basically figure out who they are throughout the entire process, and we trying to go out of the way to become friends with them. You know what I mean? Because we're the same age as most of them.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, coming 27 and 28-year-old guys, you know, running the place, and it's kind of like I would say that most of the ones that I deal with anyways are couples that are closer to our age. You can take that with a grain of salt, but it's just that way, you know, you can get more creative with them. You have the, you know, same kind of I get you wouldn't want to say style, but if you get what I'm saying,
right.
There's not really a particular couple that we like working with. I mean, there's more than anything. But having said that, there's definitely qualities and personality traits that we like more, because it helps us be creative and it helps everyone be open to just an overall good experience.
Right.
Versus just a tunnel vision type of wedding.
And it helps us do what we love to do more, and this kind of goes into like why we do this almost, because we love to create. Like, we love to do something so off the wall sometimes that nobody's ever heard of it, right? And
love that.
And that allows us to do that. You know, when it's a cookie cutter type and it's just like, you know, this way, we'll execute it just as flawlessly as we would any other wedding, but at the same time, it would be awesome for us to give our input on this and let us try to create with you, because, you know, the options are endless at that point.
And I don't think there's a particular type of couple that it kind of stays consistent, that has been booking here throughout this year and year and a half.
Trends change.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it's been all over the board. I mean, we have a couple that's having an intimate wedding with us that are like, it's their second marriage, and they're like 40. What was it? He told us it's like 48 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
There's some of our closest people right now. Like, we just sat down and did the tasting with them 2 weeks ago.
Stayed for like 2.5 hours.
No, it was like 4.5 hours. Talked about views. I mean, like, yeah, like that just shows you the broad spectrum of what it can be like. You know, we're not that hard to get along with. We're fun.
Now, if you guys are now actually watching the video, what they're wearing shows their personality perfectly.
Oh, exactly.
Because
this is a funny story with this one.
Yeah, there's a funny story behind this. We'll get into that later, because I believe you'll probably touch on it. But I'll once you do, I'll jump into it.
Oh my God! Well, what do you guys feel like set yourselves apart from everybody? Because you guys had like a shit ton on your list of what you guys offer. Is there one certain thing that you feel that separates you from everybody else?
Yeah, I mean, I think the experience overall and the overall quality that you're gonna have here. We've had vendors come here that have worked from all over, either the United States or here in the Asheville area, and they say, you know what, I've been to Biltmore, and you guys exceed them by far and are less expensive. And they say, the quality of service, your staff, you guys. And I don't think it's something that you can really know unless you go through it with us. But I want to say, like, the experience that we offer by far will exceed many, if not all, wedding venues that you see or go to.
I think, in my opinion, I think one thing that I've seen that sets us apart is the amount of hands-off time that you get when you go through us. Because you see a lot of venues that, some people show up and set up their own wedding, right? They set up their chairs, they set up their tables, do all that stuff. Even coming down to, like I was talking about in the house, like from start to finish, we want it to be as hands-off as possible. And I've heard comments just say how easy it was to go through the entire thing. We learn every wedding is going to make us a better wedding venue because we learn. But that's something that stayed consistent is we are willing to go that extra mile just so you don't have to do the work. We'll take that.
And in all honesty, every wedding venue could probably give you those same answers too, because they can say their experience is better. Their quality of service is better. But I think what sets us apart too is us. You get us, you know what I mean? but seriously, because
that's true.
I
agree with
there's a lot of wedding venues, that you're meeting a 40-year-old, 50-year-old woman that may have been doing it for the past 30, 40 years. Or
she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, they definitely have the experience, but they lost the love for it in a sense,
Right.
or just, they're maybe not as flexible. It's either their way or the highway. But I think we set this venue apart more so than anything, because I don't know, we kind of provide to that experience that you're getting, which kind of goes to like my original answer. But
yeah, I think
us.
Final
if you
answer.
see on our leads, it's funny. On our leads that we send out for every inquiry, we actually have our Bitmojis on it, and I've never seen anybody else do that.
Oh, I love that.
We have a brochure that we made that we send out to everybody that inquires with us, and it just has our Bitmojis chilling.
That's perfect.
Yeah, just so you can get like a taste of our personality on there. They probably don't know like who those people are, or like I don't know if they make the reference, but when they see us, they can reference it. And
absolutely.
I don't know. It's pretty cool.
It's amazing how those things like really truly look like the person that's using it.
Oh, it looks just like us. Yeah. He looks like a 10-year-old kid, and I look like a 40-year-old man.
Oh my God. Well, so you were saying that you guys have gone above and beyond for couples. What's like one thing that sticks out in your head that you guys really went above and beyond?
I want to speak to two occasions. I'll let him talk about one of them, but I'll talk about this actually brings up the shirt, the whole shirt concept. Okay, so we had our grand opening, and we invited a lot of our couples, and there was 250 people here, with couples and vendors and everyone. And it's not like there's only a certain amount of time. It's kind of like a wedding. You don't get to talk to everyone, right? You want to talk to everyone, but you don't get to. And there's a particular couple there that, it's Megan and Bill are their names. And Megan had brought her sister, Mackenzie, and Megan also brought her mother with her. And I saw them, I spoke to them for a second, and there's someone that I connected with on a tour, and that I've been texting Megan kind of consistently, but I haven't seen her a lot. And I didn't get really to talk to them during the grand opening. So I invited them back over the next day for, a couple drinks, by the fire at the chateau, watch the sunset, talk to them, get to know them a little bit. And it was very casual. It wasn't like, hey, come over, let's have drinks and plan your wedding. It was more of like, hey, come over, let's have drinks and just talk and get to know each other. And that was a hoot. I mean, I could tell you some fun things that ended up happening, and just like whatever. It was awesome. I got to know them, and it was amazing. And so that was the first time.
A year down the road.
Yeah, a year down the road.
they're getting married.
Right, and I connected with them so much like during that time, and I felt really close to them, like best friends, and talked to them throughout from that point on. And 6 months later, there was like a week or two before their wedding, maybe like a week before their wedding.
It was like 2 weeks.
And I was talking to their sister Mackenzie, and Mackenzie was I wanted to do something a little bit more special for them than what I've been doing for them throughout this entire process. And so they have their dog, right? And their dog wasn't able to make it to the wedding. And so I was talking to Mackenzie. I was like, hey, these are some options that I'm thinking that we should surprise them with. And one of them was, what if we printed off a shirt with their dog's face on it and made the staff wear them after dinner and like when the dancing kicked off. So she was like, that's amazing. Let's do that one. Send me the picture of the dog's face. Called a t-shirt company here in Asheville that we've connected with. And they said, look, a week's, short amount of time, but we're going to make this happen for you. Give us 2 days. Come pick them up.
Those guys didn't like us.
Yeah, they were like, these guys. There we go. Another one. But so they made it happen. Print off, got the shirt sizes from all of our staff. Print them off. Got them ready.
Dinner went down. Our whole staff went out back. Took our uniforms off. We all put these on. Did like a huge champagne toast with sparklers come out of the bottles and showed up with these. And there's video of it and pictures of it. It was incredible.
It was amazing. Yeah.
She had no clue. It was just. That's something that stands out.
I'll have to send you the video to their wedding after this because you would.
Oh, their video is incredible.
And I'll send you some pictures of like all of our staff coming out with the champagne, passing the champagne, and it was amazing. But that was one I would say to me because it meant they all mean a lot. Every couple mean a lot to us, but just because we had those small interactions with them throughout a year. And especially,
there's always just going to be those special moments that, you either plan for or you don't plan for. And,
right. And so I think for me, that was probably one of the best.
Just over the top moments.
Yeah.
Right. God, that was good.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't even want to follow it up. We'll just leave it at that.
Well, there's another one that, so we
Which one are you talking about?
So Michelle and
Alex.
And Alex, yeah.
Oh man, dude. So I would just say that whole experience was the over the top.
Yeah,
for that because so we these two are getting married with us. They got married in November, and they're right around our age. I mean, literally pretty much the same age. He used to work for the Guinness Book of World Records. Super awesome, interesting couple. They're actually backpacking across Europe right now.
They quit their jobs. Their honeymoon is 6 months traveling the world.
Yep, traveling the world, literally.
Oh my God.
So we just got to know them so well over the year. They were on a cross country road trip one random month. They just decided to pick up and drive cross country, and Asheville was in their way. So they just stopped in, hung out with us, spent a couple of nights together. And I don't know. It's just.
Oh, it's crazy because, so back up a little bit. So I don't really remember giving them a tour. And this was the first time they were coming back 6 months later, right?
He says that it sounds kind of bad, but it's because we give hundreds of tours.
Oh, I bet.
So it's
our most was 13 in one day, which is pretty insane.
And each are an hour long, at least.
So we see tons of people, and this was 6 months later from that. So I didn't really remember them exactly, and we had just got out of a huge meeting. We knew that we were going to have a huge meeting that day, and we're like, let's do something fun for this.
Right? Now I see where you're going.
Yeah, and so we. Before that, we had connected with a chef that had a very intimate dinner here that specializes in cooking in front of you and plating a 3-course, 5-course, 7-course meal.
10 people or less only. That's all he does.
Yeah, and then doing beer pairings with the plates, and then explaining what he's plating and then presenting in front of as he's bringing them down to the table. And then, anyways, we connected with that chef. We're like, let's bring him out. These Alex and Michelle, they're gonna come out with
their parents,
with their moms.
With their moms, it was just their moms.
And this was the last day of their trip, and we're like, let's bring the chef out. Let's have this planning meeting. Let's surprise them.
They had no idea. We told them just to come hungry. We might have some food here for them, and we were just gonna sit down and go over details for their wedding. So They probably coming in thought, this is gonna
like pizza.
We're gonna have like pizza here and just go on this for a minute. But no, they showed up when we had a full setup underneath the chandelier in the chateau with the doors open, the chef there,
looking into the mountains,
7 courses, beer pairings, like smooth jazz going on in the background, and
just
we still went over the details.
Yeah, went through wedding
what
planning.
a hell of a night that was.
It was amazing. And you know what the funny thing about this is? So the moms, weren't really getting along throughout the wedding plan, the process, right? It's not like they weren't getting along. It's just like different.
Bunch of stress,
right.
bunch of plans, bunch of details. I mean, not everybody's gonna get along though.
Right, and so this for them, they actually ended up crying because it brought them. It felt like it brought everyone together in a way that made them feel like family.
That probably wouldn't have happened throughout the entire process if that night wouldn't happen. To be honest with you.
Wow.
Which is cool.
And so we take them to this dinner experience. We become best friends because we realize how like-minded we are. And then so they're going on a cross-country trip like 3 months later, or it's like, I don't know, a month later. And then they're like, you know what? Asheville's like 2 hours out of our route, but we want to come say hey to you guys. And we're like, sure, why not? You guys can spend the night at our house and just have the house, and we'll just spend the night together and hang out, take you guys out, whatever. So they come, they stop in, they bring us some beer they got in from Wisconsin that you can only get in Wisconsin. They brought us
some bitters.
Yeah, they brought us some bitters from what was it?
I can't remember.
Makers. I think it was the Makers Mark. They went to the Makers Mark Distillery or Woodford.
It was Woodford.
Woodford Reserve Distillery. They were passing. They got us these bitters and brought us like a little present. Anyways, we showed them around downtown Asheville, and they spent the night, which was really cool.
So the next day, and he actually found out where he was going to get his hair cut the day of the wedding. She found out where she was going to get her nails done.
Yeah, we drove them to these cool.
Just showed them a couple of different cool spots, and they ended up using them. So
so those are like two.
There's two
memorable experiences that we had throughout this year.
Oh my God!
That was really cool. There was actually.
That was 2 out of 6.
Well, yeah, we'll just leave it there.
No, go ahead and tell the other one. There's another one.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So, we had a bunch of celebrations basically back to back. It was like someone's birthday. It was like 3 or 4 days of celebrations back to back. And one of our couples, Jessica and Will, they were coming into town on Tuesday and spending the entire week here in Asheville before they got married on the weekend. And so they come and say hey to us, during our work day, just stopping in and saying what's up. We talked to them for a little bit, and we're like, hey, you guys want to go out to dinner tomorrow? We can do, let me just provide you with like a chef's table. They don't know what's going on. Let's just go out to dinner. Invite all your friends that are in town right now too. Bring whoever's in town, just bring them. Just tell me how many you're going to bring. And so we text one of our buddies that's a chef at Polanco, this restaurant downtown.
And this could be an option for any future, anybody watching this. This is a cool option.
Right. So we actually, this is another great option, and we're actually doing this a couple more times. But anyways, so they end up coming. Oh my goodness. Well, so
I don't know how
Seth didn't make it out.
No,
Seth didn't make it out.
It was a long weekend. It was a long. It was impossible. I couldn't make it out.
And I had almost regretted inviting them out the next day because
he was just hurting.
You know what? The night that Michelle and Alex spent the night was
the night before.
Was the night before the dinner. So the Tuesday, that's when we took Alex and Michelle.
I just couldn't do it. Bottom line is, I couldn't do it. I had a ton of work to do. I felt awful. I was like, listen, Darien, you're going to have to just take the reins on this one, bud. Take one for the team here and absolutely crush this. And sure enough, you did.
Yeah, well, so they invited their sisters out, a couple of their friends were in town. I think it was like 13 of us. And so we took them, and the Polanco actually closed off all of upstairs for us. And so it was just us, 13 of us, and they served us a chef's table. Chef would come out and do like feasting style and say, hey, this is what this is. This is why I'm making it, and just gave us like a complete experience. It's
I got you. We fell off.
I
had a bad feeling that was going to happen.
Well, hey, at least we made it this one.
Right.
All right, cool. Is that good? Is that similar?
That's good.
Okay, cool. And
shout out to Ricardo at Polanco in
Ricardo,
downtown Asheville.
Go check them out. Ricardo, Polanco, amazing food, great place for rehearsal dinners. They also cater too, so imagine that.
Wow.
But anyways, we had this great experience dinner, and it was awesome.
There's 3.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at 3.
Yeah.
Because every story is going to take even longer.
Well, what do you, if you guys could offer a couple, like a good piece of advice when planning their wedding, what would that normally be? Or what would that be for you guys?
For me, it would be trust the people that you hire.
Yes.
All of your vendors that you end up hiring, trust their opinion. Listen to them. You don't have to agree with them, but just trust them. And I would think that's my best piece of advice for them when they start getting into the planning process of things.
Perfect.
I would say just nothing can be too far in advance. Nothing can be decided too far in advance, even if it's just an idea or something. Leaving something at a to be determined state for too long, it can get very hairy on our ends, when we're trying to make sure that everything is absolutely perfect somewhere. And on the day of, we like to be just, nothing can be too far in advance. I'll just say that.
Right. Like if you're choosing.
Getting to a couple of weeks out and making a decision on something, it puts the people that are, trying to execute this for you in a bind. So.
And looking at it from
you make it happen. It just, you want it to be, as the most quality as possible, and the more time you have, the better you can do it.
And that's a great point, because it doesn't also benefit us as planners and people that are putting all these plans together for you. Yeah, it's like so important for us to have all this information on a timely manner. That's why we give like timelines for them to have this. And for them, it's also very important too, because let's say you have to decide what you want for your bridesmaids to eat lunch that day. That's not something that you have to wait for 2 weeks out to decide. That's something you can discuss over breakfast, when you wake up on a Sunday, and just be like, okay, we're just going to choose this, knock it out of the way. You're still a year out, and that's awesome. That's one less thing you have to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah,
there's a lot of small details like that. Like, what do you want from us? Throughout, there's so many details like that you think you can just make, or that may sneak up on you, or you just may say, hey, okay, I'll answer this next week.
It'll just pile up.
Yeah, but why not answer it now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of couples that end up waiting. I think it's a 2-month mark that usually they'll just have like the little things all like right there, thinking that's a good time to start doing it all, and then they like certainly regret it immediately.
Yeah, it's very hard. It's very hard. So.
Yeah.
Man, well, how can people find you? Because I know you guys have an Instagram. Of course, you have a website. So how can people find you guys?
Yeah, so the Instagram handle is at the Ridge AVL.
Okay.
Very simple. Yep. And then the website is we're actually getting a new website coming up here in the next months or so. But you can find us at theridgeasheville.com. Very
perfect. Is there a certain one that you guys like to use or have couples contact you through?
I say Instagram is our most influential for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I would say that too. We have a Facebook too, which is great. Still the Ridge AVL, same as our Instagram handle.
We're on the Knot. If anybody wants to, contact us through the Knot or through
Wedding Wire.
Can you see us still?
No.
Oh, someone just called me.
You're fine.
Through the Knot, through Wedding Wire, through Google. We have a lot, but Instagram, it's easy as a DM. We're both connected to it. Yeah. We see it. Done deal. Same person's calling me. It's our full-time maintenance guy. He's probably got something going on around here that we need to help him with, but okay. Don't worry, we're good.
Well, no, but thank you guys so much for coming on. You guys look absolutely amazing. So if you guys are on listening, please go to the YouTube and check out their outfits, because they're amazing.
Hey, thank you so much for having us. This was actually super cool.
Yes.
We haven't gotten the opportunity to ever do this with anyone like this, as a part of the Ridge. So this is awesome. I hope we did okay.
You guys did fantastic. No, I enjoyed you guys immensely. So thank you guys so freaking much.
No, yeah, we really appreciate your time, and anyone watching, watch these podcasts, or even listen to all the different podcasts that she has, because there's a lot of helpful tips that will be extremely helpful if you're a venue or even someone planning your wedding. All of it's going to be super important tips,
absolutely.
and will make your planning process much easier.
On the drive home from work, you know?
Yeah, just throw it on.
Throw it on. Listen to it in the
Man,
car.
I
That's
love
where I
you
listen to
guys.
my podcast. I listen to them in the car.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
love them.
But come back
you.
come back at the end of 2020. We'll have more stories for you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
come
perfect.
back.
I'd love to do that.
We'd love to do more with you, absolutely.
Yeah, just check back in with us.
Well, thank you
maybe
guys.
on Easter we'll have a different outfit.
Oh, even better. You guys are the one up on the outfits.
We'll bring the fire.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much.
Thank
Not
you.
a problem. Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day.
Happy holidays.
Happy
You
holidays,
too.
my friends.